Hey gems, welcome back to Crystal Hearts 12 Days of Christmas. Alright y'all, so today is day probably 5 of the 12 days of Christmas here on the Crystal Heart channel. We are going to be doing Japanese knot bags today. So thanks to Rebecca of That Crafty Life. Follow her channel as well if you aren't following. She gave me this idea to do the Japanese knot bag, so I'm gonna go ahead and show you guys how to make that. Before we get into that video though, y'all remember to hit the thumbs up button. Also, if you're not subscribed, go ahead, hit the subscribe button, and also that little bell notification so that you're notified every time I post a video and every time I go live. Alright, so starting with the Japanese knot bag, what you will need is to get the pattern. I'm sure you can find or buy patterns anywhere online, Etsy or whatnot. The pattern that we are using today came from Hello Sewing. It's a free pattern and I'll have it linked down below. And it is, you'll have to print it, and it comes out in about 5 sheets. It comes out in 5 sheets, and we'll have to cut and tape, and it'll be a template to cut the fabric. So I'm gonna go ahead and cut the pattern, tape it together, and then we're gonna pick fabric and do whatever we need to do to get this cute little bag done. If you've never seen the little Japanese knot bag, they're so cute. One handle is shorter than the other so that you can slip it through and it'll be on your wrist, it'll be closed. You can use these bags for gift bags. You can use it as just a little small purse to take along with you, as a little toiletry bag on a trip. You can do all kind of things with these little bags. So I'm gonna go ahead and get my template ready, and I'll meet y'all after that. Alright y'all, so this is what the template looks like once you cut it out and tape it all together, and there's guidelines on the template so you can line everything up. So what you will need is 2 fabrics. One is your outside bag fabric, your main fabric, and one will be your lining fabric. So this measures 18 inches by about 12 inches wide. So if you had 2 fat quarters, that would actually work pretty well. I'm going to go and get my fabric, and then we're going to trace it and cut. Also, if you plan on making a good bit about these bags, maybe as gifts or something, then you can trace your template onto plastic template, pattern template, whatever, plastic. What I use for that, I don't know what it's called, but what I use for that is the plastic cutting mats that are like bendable. You can get them at Dollar Tree for $1.25, and I think you get 2 or 3 in a pack. You can do that, or you can actually get it somewhere else for more expensive, but Dollar Tree is where I normally get it. But anyway, let me get fabric. Alright, so the fabric that I picked is the Black Girl fabric that I got from Joann's. I have 2 fat quarters because each pattern will fit on a fat quarter. So I need a front and a back. And then for the lining fabric, I also got this in the remnant section of Joann's. I hauled this, I think, in my last Joann's haul. But I'll use this for the lining fabric. You put your template on your piece of fabric and you just trace it. I'm using a friction pen because generally that's what I have and what I use in my sewing room. But you can use a Crayola washable marker. You can use any kind of pen, because if you're marking, especially if you're marking on the wrong side of the fabric, then no one will ever see it. Also, this will be caught in your seam allowance, so no one will see your tracing. And I think my pen is running out of ink. Okay, and then you just cut out your template with scissors or whatever you have. Also, if you're new to sewing and you don't know anything about friction pens, these are erasable pens. If you're using them on paper, there's a little nib on the back where you can erase them. But in the sewing world, friction pens disappear with heat. So a lot of people who sew use them because you can iron away the markings. But they can come back in cold weather, so you kind of want to be, you know, conscious of that. But I have these in my Amazon store, and I can also link them down below if you need some or want to try them. And then you just cut out your template. Okay, y'all, so I have my pieces cut out. As you can see, my fabric has changed because I'm going to tell y'all, do not make the same mistake as me. Make sure that you are cutting a front and a back and not like two fronts. When I cut this fabric, and I'm mad that I did this, I cut two fronts so they don't go together. When you cut, if you're cutting your fabric separately, you need to cut one way, and on the other fabric, flip and cut the other way. Or you can just fold your fabric in half, trace on one side, and cut once, and then you'll have two pieces that are facing opposite ways. So, and then the fabric I chose now, it almost kind of looks the same, like it's a batik or something. It's not a batik, but it can kind of go both ways. Anyway, what we're going to do next is sew. You're going to take your fabric and you're going to put them right sides facing, which means the front of the fabric, make them both face each other, line them up. And then you can pin, you can clip, and then you're going to sew from here all the way around with a 1/4 inch seam allowance, and then you're going to sew across and across. You're going to do that on this fabric, and then you're going to do the exact same thing on your liner fabric. So you're essentially making two bags, but one is the inside, one is the outside. So same thing, you're going to sew all the way around with a 1/4 inch seam. From here to here, you're going to stop there, you're going to sew across here, and you're going to sew across here. So none of this is getting sewn, none of that right now. So I'm going to take it to the machine, and I am going to do that. Okay, both of my lining and my outer fabric are sewn together. So what you want to do is, when you're sewing curves that need to be flipped out, you want to snip little pieces into the edge of the fabric, and you're going to go all the way around with your snips, but you're not cutting into the stitches, because if you cut into the stitches, you'll have to restitch it. Alright, once you've snipped your edges like so, you're going to take one of your fabrics. I think this will be my lining fabric. So you're going to take your lining fabric and flip it right side out. So now you have one side flipped right sides out and one side right sides in. So what you're going to do is you're going to take that lining fabric that's right sides out and put it inside of your outside fabric. So now your right side of your lining fabric is touching the right side of your outside fabric. You're going to put it in. Apparently I forgot to stitch. Okay, let me go stitch this. Oh my gosh. Okay, so what you want to do is your seam at the top of your handle, you want to line it up with your outside fabric. So you're lining up your seams. And we are going to go ahead and clip. You could pin or clip. And I'm just going to line everything up and clip. Okay, so once you've lined everything up and clipped it, so you're not clipping your hole together, you're leaving it a hole, you're clipping both sides because it's a bag, you need a hole. So hopefully y'all can see how this is clipped. You're going to take it to the machine and you're going to sew around the U and then around the U and back up. So I'm going to go do that and I'll be right back. Alright, so now that that is all sewn, you can once again clip the edges. Don't go into your stitches. It'll just make it easier when it's time to flip it out, which is what we'll do when we're done with this. Alright, so now what you want to do is flip your bag right sides out, which you'll have to go through the armhole because you've sewn everything else together. And I'm calling it an armhole. I guess it's the strap. What do you call it? I don't know. Anyway, you're flipping the whole thing right sides out. And these bags are really reversible if you think about it. Now I'm putting my lining back inside the bag. So this is where things can get a little tricky. So now you have two arms, two handles, or whatever you call this, that need to be put together. So what you're going to do is, on your outside fabric, you're going to tuck it in about 1/4 of an inch. You're going to fold it in all the way around, and you're going to iron it so that you don't have any raw edges. You're going to do the same thing to the liner fabric. You're going to come around to this side. You're going to do the same thing. Sorry, my light has changed, y'all. The sun has gone down and now I'm working with artificial lighting, so sorry. But when you iron this in and this in, and then you flip it back inside the bag, they meet together with no raw edges. So what you do is you clip. You clip to hold everything together. And you're going to do the other thing. You're going to do the same thing to the other side. When you're done, it should look like this. But I'm going to go ahead and do the other side as well. Alright. So after you finish clipping and all of that, this is what you look like. So what you need to do is take your bag to the machine and you're going to top stitch around the entire thing, and then you're gonna top stitch this hole shut and top stitch this hole shut. So I'm gonna take it to the machine and do that. So do the U, you're gonna go around, do the back U, you're gonna do the O and the little O. Alright, y'all, so it is all done. I just need to iron it. What I will have to say is this, the little O that I talked about is the hardest part to sew. So you're going to want to take your time. I still need to snip some threads and all and iron it. But you will want to take your time going around the O's because those are the hardest parts to top stitch. The U, the double U is a little easier because it's bigger. But other than that, the project is done. Alright, y'all, we are done. Let's find something to put in the bag so we can see how it works. I have a random ball of yarn. Let's put it in there. And then you slide the long handle into the small handle and boom, you have a bag. I love it. And you can fit a whole lot of stuff, a whole lot more stuff in there. And I know this tutorial was a little bit more intense than some of the others that we have been doing. But I really like this bag. When Rebecca showed it to me, I really was like, I want to make that. If you watch this video and you feel like you still need more resources to get this done, I'm going to link down below Hello Sewing's video of her making this. This is the channel that I got the template for, and she has a video making this. So maybe if you need to see it again from, you know, a different perspective, check out her video and leave it some love. Y'all give me your thoughts, your opinions. Have y'all ever seen these bags? Have y'all ever made these bags? Will you make this bag? It's perfect as a little gift bag to put, I don't know, what are y'all buying for people? Put it in here, and then they'll have the little bag afterwards to just keep little goodies in. But like I said, give me your thoughts, your comments, your opinions, all in the comment section down below. Thank you guys for watching and being here for the 12 days of Christmas. If you haven't seen days 1 through 4, then hit the playlist and go check them out. I'll see you guys tomorrow for day 6 of the 12 days of Christmas. And I still have on my little, I need to steal Kamani's hat again, Santa hat. Alright, anyway, bye.